very fortunate that I found something that makes me going from feeling like I just want to stay in bed to having a big daft smile on my face a lot of the time, which is really special.
Oh! Stop it. Jeez. Oh, I feel like today might be a good day, big man. Oh, on there, boys.
So I'm Tom Stoltman from the Highlands in Scotland, and I am the three-time world's strongest man, and I'm also a pro strongman.
I'm Luke Stoltman. I am a professional strongman, currently Europe's strongest man. I've won Europe's strongest man 2 times, one half of the world's strongest brothers, and a cold water enthusiast. When Tom and I started doing YouTube for the first time, we'd train, and then for some reason we'd always go and swim in a loch or the beach or whatever it was. So this was maybe back in 2019, I think, when we started.
I'll be lifeguard. When I'm walking, I'm like, how am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And it takes a bit longer, especially because I'm 6'8". Like, shorter people can go in like a wee bit. I have to go probably all the way up to the other side to get in. So yeah, but I just want to, in a weather like this, it's nice. I'm just going to walk in, enjoy it, have a splash around, be a kid, and that's what it's about on these beaches. Just being a kid. You're with loads of people that are just going to be screaming, making noises, and hopefully I'm not the first out.
I used to love going swimming, and it was just something I used to enjoy doing, like swimming outside in the lochs, the rivers, the ocean and stuff. And then when Tom and I did it after training, we knew like the benefits of like cold water for like physical recovery. But like when Tom and I went into the lochs, after on the way home, we were both just buzzing. We were just like really happy, really chatty, getting to share stuff, have fun in the water. It just made me start to think like maybe there's a little bit more to it than just like going in the water. Like, why am I feeling so happy? Why am I feeling so euphoric almost, you know? And for me, that was the kind of the spark, I think, for me, you know, that kind of made me look into a little bit more. Then, you know, you look into, I remember watching a lot of Wim Hof over the years, and then looked into him a little bit more. I was like, oh, this guy's doing quite a lot of stuff, and I just started doing it and started feeling it, you know. I just started feeling that happiness, that kind of, not happiness, the joy, like the deep eternal joy that I feel when I come out of the cold. And that was where the cold quickly became kind of a tool to help me feel more joy and light in the world.
Oh, big lad. Hopefully the water doesn't overflow. Oh, drowning.
I don't think I've ever done a proper cold session without having my brother or one of my best mates there. You're going to see the red lobster soon, like.
The red lobster.
Because my body's going to be all red. I'm not kind of like Luke when I can get up first or go last thing at night and just go straight into the cold, because, yeah, for me, just being there by myself, it's a really hard place. Like a really, really hard. I mean, especially to go into a big brass monkey tub that looks intimidating, that's got ice waiting for you. You're like, okay, this is the worst thing ever. But yeah, I mean, like you said, the scene this morning, having Luke there, he has the nice thing about Luke is obviously the cold makes him hyper and makes him smiling and like all like a wee kid. For me, it makes me just calm. So when he's in the tub, he's trying to tickle me and do all that kind of stuff. So it makes that time a bit, it doesn't feel like you're in there for 5-6 minutes. It feels like you're in there for a minute or 2 minutes with him.
The more you laugh, the more your body shakes. The more the water shakes. At least your trap's not in.
Because I'm 10 foot taller than you.
No, you're not. You're not. Your ass isn't down.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It is down.
Promise.
Yes. It is down. Oh!
Stop it.
What he says about the cold water makes him happy, you know, like you can see it as soon as he puts his foot in there, it makes him happy. But then as soon as I put my foot in there, it just switches me off. And having that kind of, you know, colliding together is a really effective thing. But it's so fun being in with him, and it's so much easier being in with him as well, because today doing that 5.5 minutes, I never done that, but he made it easy because he was squirting water in my face, and just being that big kid that he is in the water, and that's so much easier having it doing it with him. So
when we do it with a group of people, you get that energy from different people. You have that connections with different people, and you know, it's beautiful sometimes, because like you'll see an instant change in people's moods or mindsets or their physical being. You know, sometimes when we go in, we're all kind of tired, we're all rubbing our eyes and sleepy and like, oh, don't really feel like doing that. But then afterwards, posture changes, our smiles, our physical being, our mental being is just different. And that's where I really utilise other people's energy. You know, you can absorb that. You know, it's people are radiating out positive energy and you're taking that in. Have you heard of like Mongolian throat singing? If you, you know, like when I'm in there, I go.
That's why sometimes I just want to get straight up because and the water just starts going up and down and it just gets colder. But he doesn't shut up in the cold tub. I like to be quiet and just zoned in. And he just makes noises, like he just spurts water at me and tries to annoys me. And
it's nice, because that's what brothers do, for it. Like,
is this kind of how your relationship is anyway? Like
yeah.
you're the annoying one and the other chill?
Even like you said,
no, absolutely not. On a day-to-day basis, you're the most annoying one. No,
you're hyper when it comes to cold water. Like.
No, when it's cold, it's a cold water, I get quite hyper.
I did that actually. That was actually quite good this morning. I trolled down. I was in Glasgow yesterday, so I felt stiff.
Do they want to stand in the grass with me? Honestly, it feels.
I don't feel like anything to me. No, I swear. Look, that's just normal grass.
Oh
no, the robot.
Don't go. Get away from me.
In terms of recovery, you know, for our job that Tom and I do, being professional strongmen, our bodies are, it's quite painful a lot of the time. You know, our knees, our hips, our backs, our shoulders, elbows, and doing that cold water, like later on after training, it seemed to give us more energy and it seemed to recover us a lot quicker. And then again, we looked to the likes of Eddie Hall. Eddie really talked a lot about the recovery process. So he was a big advocate on hot and cold contrast and hot and cold therapy. So he kind of back when we started it, like 2019. Again, we didn't have, you know, maybe as big a profile as we do now. We didn't have like finances to finance, you know, the amazing stuff that we have now. So we had an inflatable lazy boy spa, I think it was, for the hot, and then we had a cow feeder, like from one of the farms around here. We got that, and we filled that with cold water, and that was our kind of back and forth. And since we did that, you know, I don't believe in coincidences, because since we started doing hot and cold water therapy in 2019, Tom and I have become like two of the best strongmen in the world. Tom's world's strongest man 3 times. I'm Europe's strongest man 2 times. We're the first set of brothers to ever make the world's strongest man final. So it's no coincidence that it kind of is that trajectory of success and strength has been the same trajectory as the cold water. So it's kind of gone hand in hand for me. So I think it's pretty cool to see. You know, it's just facts for me. It's helped massively. Yeah.
Yeah, so myself, I mean, you know, everyone's different, but for me, I use it more for a feel and for performance-based. For me, having autism as well, I think that if someone says to me it works, or if I try it and it works, I get addicted to it. So it can be something as simple as like diet, sleep, whatever. So the first time I did cold water for strongman, for performance-wise, when I went in the water, I didn't have that feeling of the kind of mental clarification and like when, you know, people come out, they get that buzz and go, I had that. I did the cold and then the hot, and I had this sensation of my body feels unbelievable. The next day I went to bed that night, and the next day I felt, wow, this is like a cheat code. I have unlocked something here that's basically free. You can do it anywhere you want, and it made my body feel unbelievable. And as soon as I felt that kind of feeling of it, going from like those DOMs in the gym to then the next day feeling and realise like this has to be in my routine. So that's where I find it. You know, I go up every single night. I always do it after a gym session for myself, or, you know, I train, have my food and then do it. I need to leave it after a gym session for a few hours. But the reason I do that is because, like I said, I need to have that feeling for it. I need to have that purpose, and I love to just go, well, I would say 100% in the gym. I love to feel that that my body's worked out, my body feels really, really sore. But I also love that feeling of waking up the next day and not having that DOMS and being able to go harder and harder and harder. And that's what the hot and cold has done. And that's, you know, that's 100% of basically my recovery. And that's, for me, it's so easy to do. And that's why I do it for recovery, because I know it works. I love the feeling of it. Yeah, it gives me mental clarification of it. Mentally switches me off at night, which, you know, there's a mental side to it. So I obviously go home but I don't get the hyperness and the kind of, I can be buzzing for days off it or be buzzing for the rest of the day. And those endorphins, my endorphins is, it relaxes me, it takes my heart rate right down, so I can go home and really have the best night's sleep ever.
I don't know, it's strange being from a small town up here. You don't really appreciate like some of the effects that you can have, or that the cold can have on people. And you know, we're very fortunate that people support us and what we do. And you know, by going swimming with people or going immersing in cold water, people can open up. And like, there was a guy, you could tell he was really struggling, and it meant a lot to him. Like, that's what you're saying, it meant a lot that we did this dip. You know, this is the first time he came along. He just sat there, he was kind of crying. We had a hug, embraced, and you know, you just see him change and smile, and like, that's really powerful. You know, when someone's, especially like a big burly man, sat there crying, and I've been there quite a lot of the times. You know, it's really difficult, but when you're there and you just embrace with another man or another person, and like, you just hold on for an extra few seconds, and then that's sometimes all the help that you need. That's that kind of presence of being in that moment, you know, just being with that person in that moment. And I think that's really powerful. You know, physically, I believe, unless you've got some governing or like external condition or whatever that might stop you from doing it, I feel that if we're in generally good state physically, we can all do cold water. Like, it's just having that mindset to overcome that kind of, oh, I can't do this. Oh, of course you can. You did it when you were a kid. And again, when I go back to being a child again, that's where my happiest memories are. Like, I want to go back to being a child. I want to go back to that place where I'm happy, where I feel safe, I feel content. I can do anything I want. You know, there wasn't any boundaries. And as adults, sometimes we put boundaries in ourselves, saying that we can't do this, we can't do whatever, X, Y, and Z. And I think that the cold is a good way of like teaching ourselves that we can do that, you know, by just stepping in, fully immersing ourselves, and then we're there, and then it's like, oh, that's how we tick for me. That's a bit of a morale boost. I can do that. I can achieve something I didn't think I could do 10 minutes ago. So imagine what else we can achieve kind of going forward. I want to be strong as fuck. Like, I want to see Tom win 6 titles, the most World's Strongest Man titles. It was weird, I was listening to a song, Tracy Chapman, Revolution, on the way here, and that's what we need. We need a revolution. We need something to regenerate people, because like, we look around us here, you know, we got fire, we did breathwork, we got the cold water. It's nature. Nature's got the answer, and that's the revolution that we need. We need to go back to nature. We need to go back to the basics in life. You know, we just said that, and like, we did about an hour's breathwork, whatever it was, just there, and like, we've got that time. We're all so busy in life, but all we're doing is being on our fucking phones. So like, we need to switch off. We need to have that revolution, go back to nature, go back to physical strength, being strong, being powerful, especially as men. Like, that's what we need, I think. You know, to go out and do that hard work and show a bit more grit, and that's what I hope Tom and I can show. You know, it's through the things we do. We'll still be loving, still be caring, of course, but show that hard work, you have to work hard, you have to do that hard work. You can't just wake up and expect to find joy, expect to be happy. You have to go out and do that work, find hard work, and do it, and embrace it. And I just want to be a good dad to my son as well, that's it. So, like, and have a big fuck off business. I want to be like fucking everywhere. That's what I want. I want to be working with cool companies, you know. Like, we get to work with you guys, Brass Monkey, which is amazing. I remember looking at them a few years ago thinking, there's no chance we'll ever be able to do that. you know, a couple of guys from Invergordon in the Highlands, and now we're doing this cool things, you know, so which is so cool, you know, doing it with a big fucker Tom. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is life, man? It's pretty special. So yeah, I just want to keep doing cool things, keep enjoying, finding joy in the small things, and hopefully we can share that stories and just grow. I don't know. I don't fucking know what the plan is.